You know, I would much rather just make videos on Monster Hunter or some new game that I like, or anime. I should probably start making some game anime. But every now and then you will go on a gaming website and see an article that just baffles your mind. This is GameSpot, and I saw this interesting headline that nearly half of gamers want more games based on film and TV. Now, this headline immediately struck me as very odd. Now, yes, I am getting older, so I'm not in touch with the young kids, but I am still fairly active on the interwebs, and I have not seen this trend or demand from gamers that we want games based on Breaking Bad or something. It's a very odd claim. So I decided to read the article, and a survey was conducted by Deloitte. Now, here's the thing: this GameSpot article in the second sentence here, it says, as reported by Games Beat. So this journalist Stephen T. Wright did not even go to the source himself. It's fine if you're aware of it through Games Beat. But for the love of all that is pure and holy, go check the report or the research or the study yourself, no? So when you go to Games Beat, or you go to the link that takes you to Games Beat, I don't even know what the hell this is, right? So they talk about a tapestry as these pretentious anyway. So Deloitte, this is how Deloitte is categorizing their research, right? And GamesBeat finally links it to the actual Deloitte website. Now, there are a couple of things that are suspect in this. Firstly, in this Deloitte website, so we have this gaming community is nuanced, complex, and expansive thing, and this chart rather, is very odd. Deloitte categorizes gamers as a casual or committed. And casual gamers are gamers that play less than 5 hours a week, typically on phones or tablets. And committed gamers play more than 6 hours a week and gravitate towards more quote unquote immersive games and play on consoles and computers. Now, this last sentence here I find very interesting. So they single out committed gamers and say that males typically make up the majority, but at 38%, many females are now falling into that category. Yet they didn't give any breakdown their summary of the casual. So it's almost like if women aren't the majority of something, they still need to shove in and draw focus to that. And speaking of drawing focus, this chart here, a very odd chart. Women are so it's again what pulls your focus is the green circle with the white text box. You almost start to ignore, or you start to think that the white on the circle is insignificant because it's not even colored. And typically color psychology, green is good and so on. So why didn't they use, for example, blue and pink? Pink for the women and blue for the men. This is also based on their own summary. This chart is extremely misleading because on their summary they said men and boys, but yet in the chart here it only says women and men. Now, men is a man is a male above the age of puberty. So this chart, at least as it's being described, is not saying what this paragraph here is saying. So let us assume that when they say men, they mean male, and when they say women, they mean female, right? These categories are also very, very odd. Multiplayer games, sports and racing games. Pretty much all sports and racing games are also multiplayer games. And they use combat as examples of multiplayer games. They use combat and tower defense. What exactly does combat mean? Is Devil May Cry a multiplayer game because it has combat? I don't follow. Why? Let's look at a fighting game. King of Fighters. Where would King of Fighters fall here? It's not sports and racing. And they use so is it multiplayer? But does it count? But is two player is a two-player game sufficient to call multiplayer? The prefix multiple usually mean more than two. Right? Somebody with more with only two personalities. You won't say they have multiple personality disorder. You say they have split personality disorder, right? A dual personality. So this is very strange. And the last one, rich story-driven games. You have action games that are story-driven. The Metal Gear series, at least up to the last one I played, and that was Metal Gear 3. So would that count as a rich story-driven game, or because it has combat in it, it will count as multiplayer game? So let's also look at one could argue Tekken is very rich on story as well. So it's Tekken multiplayer or a story-rich game. I mentioned Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter. What would you call Monster Hunter? Which of these categories would you put it in? Now I don't know. This is only sent out to US gamers, right? So I have not seen the actual form, but these categories are very very strange. I would not know how to fill out this based on what I play. I would not know. You have a bunch of issues here with how they describe, and also look at this, right? Casual gamers that play less than 5 hours a week. That sounds all right, fine, until you realize, hold on, there are 7 days in the week, less than 5 hours. You're playing less than an hour a day. Casual don't even begin to describe that. You see, back in my day, right now I would be called or classified as a casual gamer, in that I don't play as often as I used to, nor am I as that knowledgeable in particular games that I enjoy, right? But based on this, I would still now be a committed gamer. So back in my day, a casual gamer is still someone heavily invested in the video game. So let's use King of Fighters. You can have a casual King of Fighter gamer, and a more committed, let's use their term, committed King of Fighter gamer. A committed King of Fighter gamer will learn the matchups and the advanced techniques, such as the frame traps and all these things, and the frame data, right? The casual King of Fighter gamer would learn the moves, learn a couple combos, and then through fighting they will pick up, okay, certain moves have a long recovery, other moves have a very short recovery, and so on. And that's as far as how deep they're willing to go. Anything else is just based on their observation while playing. That's what a casual King of Fighter gamer is back in my day, or would be back in my day. But based on this in definition, both of those persons would be committed gamers. And once you play less than an hour a day, that's like what, 45 minutes probably to get less than 5. No, hold on. It says less than 5 hours a week. Less. I was still fixated on the 5 hours. It said less than 5 hours a week. This means someone can play for half an hour for the week, and they will be classified as a casual gamer. And because they didn't break this down in the little thing here, so right, because these casual games don't mean casual gamer, right? You still can have a bunch of overlap. If you are in a line waiting and to get your license printed, or not printed, renewed, for example, and it has internet access, you can pick up the phone and go play some casual game. And if this survey comes, let's say that same week, you say, well, I played a phone game for 10 minutes or half an hour. That would classify as a casual game that you played, right? But it's not a fair accurate representation. But regardless, based on this, we're still going to assume that more females play casual games based on this, right? But this again, like I said, mean that somebody can just play, open up a them phone for 10 minutes and play Candy Crush or something. No, when you think of the headline that, where is it? That gamers, that gamers, nearly half of gamers want more games based on film and TV. If they are including both the people who open your phone and press two buttons and bejewel for 10 minutes, as well as myself as gamers, now this data start to make sense, but it is very, very misleading. Because the games that will be based on film and TV are not necessarily, as I mentioned, Harry Potter here. So you may create a Breaking Bad and a next. Well, I don't Steve anymore. But some other game like that, thinking, all right, there's demand for it. No, 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 no. You have a bunch of people who play free games, and even that, majority of the, or not majority, quite a bit of the mobile games tend to be free to play, right? So when you ask someone who plays mostly casual games, do you want more games based on this? They may think, okay, I want a Lord of the Rings themed Bejeweled game. Not necessarily they want a Lord of the Ring themed um, uh, Assassin's Creed game. It just games what rather taking just a few more seconds and actually went to the site themselves and checked it, but realized, hold on, this headline is very, very misleading. So look, be very careful when you're checking up things on particularly the trusted sources in news and media no longer apply. So whenever you see a reporter or journalist make a statement or claim in some study, check it yourself, because the reality of that study could be very different than what they are portraying here.